Welcome back to Sunrise Today. Well, we'll turn our attention now to the cabinet reshuffle, which has just happened. And Dr. Kemi Rotimi joins us this morning. He is of the Department of History of Bafemi Awolowo University. Morning, and thank you for coming on this morning, Doctor. Well, as a matter of fact, we have heard, even today, the papers did have it that, look, this reshuffle, not based on political crisis or any such things, but people will always run with the impression that they have, irrespective of perhaps what has been handed down from those responsible for that reshuffle. What's your perspective on this, anyway?
Thank you very much, and nice to be back here again. A break. Cabinet reshuffle. What's the big deal about it? Mr. President did not consult any of the commentators when he appointed the ministers that he has excused, because I won't say that he has sacked them. But for whatever reasons, he may have relieved them of their posts. That is his prerogative. It's a presidential system. He nominates his co-workers, and after a while, depending on what reports he has and his assessment of their performance, he may request that they step aside. So I don't think there is a big deal about removing people from the cabinet. One or two left earlier for reasons best known to them. So I think Mr. President has a right to remove people or request them to step aside.
Well, by all means, nobody's contesting that. Yes, he's got the right to do that. But for those who consider it a big deal, they think the big deal is that at the end of the day, the deliverables he's got to deliver. And so he has to have people around him who will help him do that, because if that doesn't happen, people will eventually go to the streets on 2015 and decide what happens thereafter. So development is a big deal in this country, by extension.
Whatever Mr. President does, whoever is in his cabinet, come 2015, we will go to the polls to determine who governs us from May 29. He has removed some ministers now. He will replace them. He will fill those vacant posts, and he may choose not to. He hasn't had a substantive defense minister for how many? Over 2 years now, close to. And this is a bit on a sentimental note. I feel pity for Erelu Obada. Minister of State Defense, they did very well. And I fancy always saying military fatigue. And he held the post with some confidence. And I think he can boast of the fact that under our watch, females, ladies now are in the NDA, training as combatant officers, if you're talking about records. The deliverables, we need to know why Mr. President has removed them.
He says he's listening to the people. The feedback he's getting from the people, part of what was said, is that may not be satisfactory.
Well, if you talk about feedback from the people, who are these people? And then
Nigerians.
Yes, Nigerians. Nigerians, all manner of Nigerians. You have had those who have commented on this issue. I listened to the two who spoke yesterday. And then again, there's a Nigerian, famous Nigerian, who in all of the Obasanjo presidency, whenever there was cabinet reshuffle, apparently probably thinking that he should be in there. But the president did very well, never brought him in. Another round of ministers are appointed again. Oh, the cabinet is still not complete. There's still nobody competent there. He never made it in there. He's still out of government. He's moved around. He's in the APC now. That is not, this is not a comment about the APC. I'm talking about a particular individual. If I press the point a little too far, you probably will know who. I don't have to give it away. Anyway, so talking about listening to Nigerians, yes, you may have listened to Nigerians. I know where you are headed. We haven't got there, i.e., any political undertones. Well, I think there is, or there may be. Again, this is the era of politics. What is it all about? Is it not contestation for power and privilege? What does the politicians do?
Power and privilege,
Yes.
not necessarily development.
Power and privilege, and then you get the power, you can use it for development, but you can use it for private crude capital accumulation, or you can have a combination of everything. Power and privilege, because why is the contest so fierce? It's all about power and privilege. Politicians contend for power and privilege. That's what they do primarily. You grab the power, then you decide what you want to do with it. You can perform, you may choose not to perform, and whichever side you take, wherever you stand, you always have your, those who sing your praises. Of course, you have your traducers who may be acting from various motives.
You know, I'm happy that you hit the nail on the head. I mean, you brought the conversation to where we're going to in terms of whether or not we're looking at it as, you know, if it has any political undertones, of if this was strictly on merit. And I don't quite know where you belong. Yes, we've all considered to Mr. President the powers to hire and fire, but the question is, was this done on merit or was this done on politics? What side would you tilt to the most?
Okay. I'm a historian, not an economist, but I'm on the one hand and on the other hand kind of person. And because I'm a historian, some of these things you jog your memory, you go a little bit back. Now, what is the point about my taking one side of pitching a tent on a particular side of the divide? No. Everybody in Nigeria, every adult Nigerian, and then students of society know what is going on now. The PDP has imploded, the umbrella is torn. I've been carrying my needle and thread about looking for who will need my services to help them sew the thing back a little. Now,
they won't agree with you.
That the umbrella is torn.
Yes, maybe we should quickly just address the issue at hand. But we'll come to that if you want us to.
Yes, if they don't.
So who tore it?
The umbrella. Mm-hmm. Oh, the PDP. Fantastic party. But let's get to where we are. I mean, let's be where we are for now. Now, so I don't have to be anywhere. In other words, you talk about is it done on merit?
Yes.
But the ministers appointed on merit. I mean, the usual, we know the usual statements. You've appointed Cameron to be minister, you're swearing in, and you're telling the whole world he's been appointed on merit. Of course, you won't say that he didn't appoint me on merit, but then, who knows? Somebody might have pushed my candidature. So, when you are removing me, is it on merit or not merit?
So you're saying that if we did not ask the question then, we cannot ask the question now?